Yeah, yeah.
There you go. Get comfy.
Get
That's what you got to do.
Welcome everyone to Martial Fusion Profiles, and we are in Las Vegas, Nevada at the 18 Martial Arts Super Show with Alain, Moussi, actor, stuntman, martial artist, the star of Kickboxer Vengeance, and now his new film, Kickboxer Retaliation. So, pleasure to meet you, man.
Pleasure to meet you.
How did the whole thing get started? Let's just go from there.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Well, so I've been a martial artist since I was 10 years old. I started training in martial arts when I saw Bloodsport with Van Damme, and that inspired me to want to train. Obviously, Van Damme, he's kicking, he's doing the splits, and he's athletic, and he's got muscles. So you're like, oh wow, I want to be like that. So I started training in Japanese classical jiu-jitsu out in Canada. My instructors were very much my idols. So I was inspired to want to teach. So I started teaching when I was 17, and at 23, I said I'm going to open a school. My parents backed me up, and my friend Stefan and I opened our first martial arts school. We would teach jiu-jitsu and kickboxing. And at the same time, though, I had made so many friends as martial artists around the world. One of my buddies, Jean-François Lachapelle in Montreal, introduced me to a stunt coordinator when they were about to shoot the movie Immortals. And I auditioned to start training with the team. They took me in, so that's how I got started as a stuntman. And it was fun because I was exposed to a lot of stunt coordinators right off the bat. And I was able to work on my first film, but for like 6 months. And after that experience on Immortals, I got to work in Toronto, then in Vancouver, on films like X-Men and White House Down. I got to do Suicide Squad. Yeah, tons of amazing movies, Warcraft. Anyways, so all this to say, my stunt career just took off. A year later, in 2011, I was working as a stuntman on a martial arts film. We ended up doing this huge showcase. At the end of this whole showcase, Dimitri Logothetis, the producer and director, came over and said, hey, I just want to introduce myself. He kind of singled me out and talked to me for like 5 minutes. And the next day I get a call to meet him. And he said, listen, what I want to do is I want to relaunch the martial arts genre in the United States. And we have Kickboxer, we have many titles to do. And I feel like I want to do this with you. You did a great job at the audition. So how would you feel about doing a few movies with me? And it's like, yes. I had no idea. I didn't really care. It's yes, we'll figure everything out later on. But yes, we're doing movies.
And then you get to work with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I get to work with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
What can you tell us about that experience?
Dude, it's surreal. The way it came together, it's like, because originally we had talked about Van Damme coming in, then his schedule couldn't work it, so that didn't work out. A day before we start shooting, Dimitri said, well, Tony Jaa originally was supposed to be in there. And he says, Alain, it's not going to work with Tony Jaa. And actually, Tony sent me a message on Twitter, out of all things, and say, sorry, man, I won't be able to shoot the movie. So I was kind of bummed. I was like, oh, really? Because I was looking forward to working with Tony Jaa. But he's like, yeah, but Jean-Claude Van Damme's in and Gina Carano's in. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So all of a sudden, I am on set, first day, and I got Jean-Claude Van Damme coming in to set, and I'm doing a scene opposite him. And it's like, I grew up watching films with Jean-Claude. I grew up wanting to become an action star, wanting to be in action martial arts movies because of that dude, and many others. But he's the guy that started it all for me. Kickboxer was my favorite Van Damme film for years. And now I am remaking Kickboxer. And I'm playing opposite Van Damme. That's insane. There's this moment where he's throwing a whole bunch of kicks at my head, and I'm just kind of dodging the kicks. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. And they call cut, and everybody's kind of getting back, reset, all that kind of stuff. And I just stop and just kind of looking around. And I'm like, does it get any better?
It is time for you to defend your title in another fight to the death.
So what can you tell us about it?
Now, it's fun because we're in a brand new story. Originally, Kickboxer had sequels, but it had nothing to do with the character that Van Damme played. They continued the story with other characters. Here, we get to now create the next part of the story and do it over 3 movies, which is great. So the second installment, Retaliation, continues the journey after the events of Vengeance.
Okay.
Now, I decided to take over the action department because I wanted to really make it my own. And with Dimitri's guidance, because obviously he's the director and the producer, he knows what he wants to see. With that, I built a team. We have a team in Thailand, a team in Canada. We formulated all kinds of actions, and we ended up doing some amazing stuff. Really cool. So I have an amazing fight with Mike Tyson, where we made him, showcased him as the boxer that he is. And I thought that was really exciting. I got hit by Mike. Not full force. We have this oneer. I fight in a jail yard over 2 levels. And I'm fighting 17 guys. The camera never cuts. We have a camera that follows me in the action, follows the guys getting hit. Some of the guys, they fly out to a staircase, fall 12 feet. Some of the guys get hit in the face, and you can't fake it. So it's full contact, foot and face, and the stuntmen were amazing. An end fight that is 35 minutes long. And we had to do that with Thor Bjornsson. But this guy is 6'10", 420 pounds, and you got to make him move like a martial artist. He's not a martial artist. Dimitri shot in such a way that Thor looked gigantic, but he also looked like super athletic and like a fighter. So between the story that Dimitri designed and the action that we were able to put together, and the cast, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Mike Tyson, Babalu, and tons of UFC stars like Fabricio Verdum, and we had Renzo Gracie, we had Frankie Edgar in there, Shogun was in there. Just tons of cool cameos. I think it ended up being an awesome, cool movie.
Just sit back and enjoy the ride.
There is 2 questions that, pop in my mind, and I think that I'm not the only one. What does martial arts means to you in your personal path? That's one. And then what will be the advice or the information that you would like to pass on for those who are now looking at you the way that you were looking at Jean-Claude Van Damme when...
Okay, that's good. Well, I'll start with the first question, martial arts. Martial arts for me has been the path that I've followed. I think it's instilled in me every single skill and value I needed to become who I am today. The amount of sweat you put on the mat is what gives you the result you want. Always work, always training, no matter what. Try to be the best version of yourself. Discipline to when things are hard and don't feel like it, you still do it. You still do the things you don't feel like doing. Why? Because it has to get done. So that's discipline. Respecting others, understanding how to listen. Martial arts is this core thing in my life that has just brought everything, attracted everything to who I am, and has shown me the value of hard work and how you have to do it. Now, what advice I have, and this is funny, this comes from me today, but also comes from Jean Frenette and kind of the philosophy of our stunt group that we were training with. Always be ready. Most people, and I know a lot of them, most people say, when an opportunity comes to you, now I see the light, so I might want to start getting ready. But that's too late. So when you want something long term, you have to get ready now, whether you see that little carrot dangling in front of you or it's invisible. I've always had the mentality that I have to be ready because maybe in 25 years, that'll come up. So might want to start right now, because the day that somebody says, yeah, we want to audition you for a stunt team, he said, and the first day of my audition with Jean, was exactly, I had everybody sit down and say, Alain, show us what you got. So what do you do if you're not prepared? You can't get ready now. So I said, okay, no problem. I threw everything I knew. Kicks, backflips, acrobatic throws, anything I thought would look good on camera, weaponry, anything I had learned over years between my jiu-jitsu instructors, kickboxing instructors, my Kali instructors, everything I could think of, I put it in there. Be prepared, because one day opportunity knocks. If you're not ready, it goes away. That's my advice.
That is a phenomenal advice.
Yeah.
And it's really a pleasure, like just having a conversation with you and being able to put this on camera for everybody and all the martial artists out there and everybody that is starting to train to get some of this wisdom and knowledge and be able to use some of it in your own journey. So Alain Moussi, everybody.
Thank you very much, and thanks for the opportunity. Watch the movie, have fun watching it, smile, because that's what it takes in life. Be happy.
You interrupted my meditation.
Really? Does that help you stay calm?
I guess not.